Anno 117 Pax Romana is real. It's coming in winter 2025. We might be looking at the most exciting, complex, and straight-up addictive Anno game ever made. There's still a bit of healthy skepticism. The modular design clearly leaves room for future DLCs, and there's always the fear that the game could get stretched too thin, trying to be everything for everyone. This is not some bland Ubisoft product by committee. This is a passionate, finely crafted experience that respects its fans and pushes its legacy forward. But before we get into mechanics, let's talk about the flavor. Anno 117 is dripping with atmosphere. This isn't just a Roman skin slapped on Anno 1800. Ubisoft minds went deep, politically, narratively, and mechanically. You're no longer just some neutral builder in a generic empire. Now you're either Marcus or Marcia, two siblings thrust into the chaos and politics of Pax Romana. Marcus is the classic Roman noble trying to climb the political ladder without losing his soul. Marcia, on the other hand, is navigating a far more treacherous path, fighting for influence in a system designed to keep her powerless. Your choice between these two characters actually matters. It shapes events, alters missions, and even affects which imperial figures you'll be working with, or against, and they're not shy about throwing big names into the mix. Will you support the brutal but magnetic General Calidus, or side with the brilliant diplomatic Julia Augusta? Both are vying for the imperial throne, and your actions could very well decide the fate of the Roman world. We're talking full-scale civil war if you make the wrong enemy. This isn't just a story backdrop, this is a campaign with teeth. Now let's dig into what really makes Anno 117 tick. And oh man, the systems. If you thought Anno 1800 was deep, this is like diving into a philosophical debate about logistics while also balancing a plate of fish sauce. Because yes, Garum is now a real resource. Anno 117 tears up the old playbook when it comes to population needs. No longer do you need to meet every need to progress your citizens. Instead, each tier presents you with choices. Do your liberty the freed slaves who make up your base population prefer sardines or oatmeal? Hats or tunics? A market or a tavern? You pick. It sounds small, but it changes everything. You can tailor islands to specific outputs without feeling forced to chase every production chain. But here's the twist. The goods you choose don't just satisfy people, they change the math. Oatmeal gives you more people per building. Sardines give you more income. So suddenly, your decision about whether to fish or farm isn't just logistical, it's strategic. Do you need labor or coin? Is there space for fields or more coastline for boats? And as you move up to higher tiers like the plebea or equities, things get even spicier. Bread might be easier to produce locally, but garum, while expensive and requiring expansion into other provinces, brings prestige. Every resource choice ripples through your economy, shaping how your empire evolves. And speaking of shaping, let's talk about the villa. This is your new power center. It's a step beyond the palace system from Anno 1800. You start off with this elegant Roman mansion that looks pretty enough to be in a Ridley Scott movie, but functionally it's your personal command hub. You expand it with guest houses, each one unlocking slots for specialists. These specialists are like living items, boosting nearby production, increasing happiness, or improving resource yields. But here's the kicker. Their effects are area-based, so where you build your villa matters. Want that linen production bonus? Better put your villa near the weaving district, even if it means your gorgeous mansion sits next to a pigsty. Suddenly, city planning isn't just about efficiency, it's about power placement. It's aesthetic and tactical. Now, for the veterans out there, yes, Anno 117 finally brings diagonal roads. Cities can finally feel more organic. And no, they're not just visual fluff. Diagonals give you more flexible layouts, though if you're a hardcore efficiency nerd, you might still stick to square blocks. Still, they're easy to toggle on and off depending on how pretty or practical you want to be. Where Anno 117 gets truly cerebral is in its new building effect system. Most structures now influence nearby buildings with either bonuses or penalties. Build a bakery near your town center and it'll increase income, but it'll also spike fire risk. Place it far from town to reduce danger, and now your delivery chains are inefficient. It's an architectural chess match. Fields need to be near rivers, bakers near mills, but everyone wants the buffs. Every placement becomes a mini-puzzle. And with new stats like health, faith, knowledge, and even prestige tracked in real time, you can see the effects your choices have across your island. It makes everything feel alive and accountable. And then there's knowledge. For the first time in Anno history, there's a real tech tree, that's right, a sprawling, choice-driven research network. You build schools, generate knowledge points, and unlock not just passive bonuses, but actual new buildings, unit types, and economic systems. Want better ships, faster carts, more efficient fire safety? It's all in the tree, and it's not just about clicking to unlock. You need to hit certain milestones like population levels or trade routes to go deeper. It makes technology feel earned, not just handed to you. But perhaps the boldest addition is religion. Anno 117 introduces a full-on belief system. Early in the game, you build a sanctuary and dedicate it to one of several Roman gods: Ceres, Neptune, Mars, and more. Each one brings powerful gameplay-changing effects. Ceres boosts agriculture, Neptune makes ships faster, Mars strengthens your military. As your people generate faith through nearby buildings, your chosen god becomes stronger, unlocking even more bonuses and even specialized shrines with localized effects. It's a religious meta-system layered onto your empire, offering meaningful long-term choices without turning the game into a theocracy sim. It's brilliant. And yes, there's war. For the first time in a long while, Anno has real RTS-style land battles. You train legionnaires, gladiators, and other units, load them onto ships, and sail them to enemy islands. Once landed, you directly control them to capture villas and harbor buildings. If you succeed, you can annex the island, install a vassal governor, or rebuild it from scratch. The combat's not super deep. Don't expect total war here, but it's interactive and it feels like it belongs. Sea battles are more traditional, but now include customizable ships, letting you sacrifice cargo space for weapons like catapults or tower platforms. And if you're a pacifist, you can still avoid total war and just engage in limited skirmishes, called feuds, which only target military assets, sparing your trade routes. Diplomacy has also been revamped. Now driven by clear stats and visible values, AI behavior makes sense. You'll know exactly why a rival won't ally with you. Maybe you're too weak militarily, maybe they hate your god. It removes a lot of the guesswork and adds strategic depth to relationships. Here's the thing. Anno 117 is all about choice. But unlike other games that throw options at you without meaning, every choice here matters. It's not about ticking boxes, it's about shaping a living, breathing empire, and even though so many systems are modular, none of it feels hollow. You could easily lose an entire weekend deciding whether wine is worth the cost of happiness, even if it tanks your research speed. It's hilarious, it's stressful, and it's peak Anno. If you're hyped to build aqueducts, worship ancient gods, and maybe start a little Roman civil war on the side, then make sure to smash that like button to show your support. Got questions, theories, or just want to tell me which god you'll dedicate your first shrine to? Drop it in the comments below. If you love strategy games, city builders, and nerding out over resource chains and production bonuses, this is the place to be. So do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future Anno updates.